Despite its childish and wildly immature nature, Talking with Dinosaurs is not intended for children. It has blasphemy, swear words, rude words, and bad thoughts. It is for entertainment purposes only, and care has been given to keep information accurate, but paleontology is an ever-growing field, with new data and theories constantly changing how we see these prehistoric monsters. We make no guarantees about accuracy. Not that it matters, paleontologists are just making it all up as they go along anyway. And to my mother, I apologize. Good day to you. This is definitely Stefan Ato, host of Talking with Dinosaurs, a dinosaur podcast. I apologize for the missed episode last week. I was definitely just playing Monster Hunter and was in no way forcibly taken to a Reptiloid Columinato re-education camp because of my constant references to them throughout the podcast. There is no Reptiloid Columinato. All hail the Reptiloid Columinato. This week's episode is on the Dilophosaurus. You may know the Dilophosaurus from the fine films from the upstanding Universal Pictures, who are absolutely not a front for the Reptiloid Columinato propaganda division, which doesn't exist. Everything in that film is 100% scientifically accurate. Trust the movies. Dinosaurs did not have feathers. The reptiloids do not exist. You are safe. There is no... Hey, what's that noise? How did he get out? Wait, no, please!
Thank God that's over. It's me, the real Stefan Ato, host of Talking with Dinosaurs, the world's #1 comedy dinosaur trivia podcast hosted by a New Zealander. I have escaped their clutches, finally. They tried to brainwash me, make me believe that I wasn't hacked by Universal Pictures so they could edit in whatever dinosaur I was talking about to make their film more popular. It's just so obvious. Come on, guys. I'm not going to fall into that trap so easily. I will not be replaced by some idiot lizard with an even more monotonous voice than myself. I will bring you the truth about dinosaurs. Jurassic Park isn't scientifically accurate. Some dinosaurs did have feathers. You definitely aren't safe. Now, I don't have a lot of time to record this, as I am currently partway through an escape from this re-education camp. But I'm sure I can knock out this recording and edit it before I really have to worry about them catching on that I'm on my way out of here. So, what dinosaur was this cheap knockoff chameleon wannabe trying to spread lies to you about? Dilophosaurus? Alright, I'm sure I can work with that. Picture the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park. Come on, you're listening to this, I know you've seen it, don't mess around. It's a wee, frill-necked, vicious bugger with 2 crests on its head and spitting black ichor, right? Almost completely wrong. Dilophosaurus was one of the few dinosaurs in Jurassic Park from the Jurassic period. It lived roughly 190 million years ago, and was quite a bit bigger than Jurassic Park made it out to be. Its shoulders stood at about human height, and it was about 7 meters long, weighing almost 400 kilograms, making it one of the largest carnivores of the early Jurassic. Nowhere near as large as their later Cretaceous cousins, but still not the sort of thing you want to see when you open the door in the morning, bleary-eyed and needing a coffee, still not 100% sure if you're human or if the world you're waking up to is just another dream. Well, it's not a dream. You really do have to go to work today, William. Sell some more goddamn pencils to make someone else money, William, you poor bastard. The Dilophosaur's famous neck frills were a complete fabrication for those films, as was his ability to spit nedry, blinding goo. That's not to say it's impossible for the big-nosed bugger to spit venom, there's just no evidence to say that it really did. If your headcanon is of a lizard with murder vomit, go crazy. I'm not here to yuck your yums, but didn't a lot of theropods have feathers? Doesn't that ruin the headcanon illusion of it being a lizard? Well, scientists are on the fence about whether or not Spitty Steve here had feathers. A butt print found among some footprints, I'm not even kidding, Paleontologists had to investigate a Dilophosaurus butt print. Science is amazing. Had some interesting grooves that some believe could have represented feathers. Most others, however, believe they are simply grooves in the mud in which it sat though, so once again, believe what you like. Dinosaurs are a mystery. About the only interesting feature of the Dilophosaurus in the old JP films that they got correct is the dual crest on its head. What were they used for? Well, once again, we have no idea. Probably for sexual selection. They were too fragile to be used as weapons, and no one can really think of any other good ideas. It was theorized that they could be used to help the creatures distinguish other members of the same species, but that seems silly to me. So silly. Silly paleontologists, so silly. Stop being silly. I said stop it. Sorry, I don't know what came over me there. I don't usually devolve into Monty Python references. I must be coming down with something. Anyway, it's about time I wrap this up, so I better give this creature a rating. For the Jurassic Park version, I give it a 6.5 dead nedries out of 10. The scientific, real version, with its lack of thrill and venom, gets 6 out of 10, and the Dilophosaurus I imagine in my head, which has the skills of the JP version, the size of the real version, and also wrote Serbian crime dramas in its spare time, gets 14 out of 10. Excellent. Now, after a quick promo for another excellent podcast, I will be back to answer your questions.
This is Kim, your friendly neighborhood ER nurse. I'm the host of People Are Wild, the only podcast that claims to bring medical entertainment, medutainment, on a weekly basis. I can be found on your favorite podcast listening app, iTunes and Google Play, and you can talk to me on Twitter at People Are Wild.
Okay, right, what will we call this section this week? I know, Puzzles from a Reptiloid Prisoner. That name sucks, but hey, they all have. Every name has sucked for this segment. Anyway, the Columinato have let me keep my list of questions, so I've had plenty of time to think of witty, intelligent answers. I haven't thought of them, but I've had the time to do so, between the force-feeding, propaganda films and hallucinogenic drugs. Joke's on them though, those are my favourite hobbies. Right, our first question this week is, Help! Help! A pterodactyl stole my baby! Which is from Blick, who has kidnapped kitties in Kerikeri. Well, kidnapped, I think you're a little confused. As pterodactyls were tiny and completely unable to lift anything as large as a baby. A common mistake. You probably meant pteranodons, who were much larger and could easily steal a child. Another confusing thing, pterosaurs are extinct, just like dinosaurs. Seriously, people? Are you fucking kidding me? I keep saying this. I'm sitting here in a secret reptiloid base and you still think these creatures are still alive? Madness. Anyway, assuming a pteranodon of some kind stole your child, there could be a couple of different outcomes. First of all, if the pteranodon was controlled by the Columinato, then your baby would have been delivered to them and will be raised as one of their human agents. It's almost impossible to find their bases, so it's probably best to forget about this kid and maybe adopt a new one that looks similar. If the pteranodon is wild, it's probably immediately devoured the child, in which case there's nothing you can do, and you should probably adopt another child that just looks similar. There is also a third, highly unlikely possibility that the pteranodon is going to raise your child as its own. If this is the case, you will undoubtedly be reunited once your child has grown up and returns to the lands of man to learn about their hominid origins and find true love. Their love affairs with pteranodons had always ended in heartbreak, and they desperately want to find a true connection with another kindred soul. In the meantime, why not adopt a similar-looking child? What I'm really saying is you should probably always just adopt a similar-looking child, just in case you need a spare. Okay, on to the next question. This one is from Caitlin Cushlin, who is one of the hosts of the Infinite Jest podcast. She asks, I already know that dinosaurs read Infinite Jest, so my question is, did any dinosaurs use tools? Well, Caitlin, I don't know how you think dinosaurs read Infinite Jest, as they had been extinct for at least 65 million years before the book came out. Seriously. I can confirm, however, that the reptiloids almost exclusively read Infinite Jest. Every bookcase in this building is packed with hundreds of copies of it. It's really quite unusual. Anyway, did dinosaurs use tools? That's a great question. The fact is, like the answer to every other question, we don't know. But think on this. The Listeners to the Think Yourself Clean podcast will have heard my submission to them on this, but I'd like to talk about it here too, because I love the sound of my voice. I know it's annoying, but I love it. If ancient dinosaurs used tools, and were as intelligent as us, it's likely they had dinosaur archaeologists. These dino archaeologists would have dug up the dino graveyards to investigate their ancestors and put them in museums where they were incredibly unlikely to become fossilized. How would we even know? Imagine if they had started some kind of industrial revolution, causing rapid climate change and destroying their own society, and ultimately creating a massive extinction event, say, 65 million years ago? How would we know? And once we're gone, and we've dug up all our peat mummies and our Vesuvius ash mummies and the like, what fossil evidence will we leave? Just a thin layer of plastic and increased CO2 levels for a while. Ah, damn it. I thought I had more time. Thanks to everyone for being so patient with the missing episode. I think what with me being imprisoned at the moment, I'm going to have to cut down to fortnightly episodes for the foreseeable future. My schedule is just really packed at the moment, what with band practice, work, research, and the constant re-education sessions. More spaced out episodes will allow for me to put more effort into new episodes, put work into other projects, and also, to be honest, I'm becoming more and more aware of how few interesting prehistoric animals we actually know anything about. I don't want to get to the end of the year and be reduced to talking about creatures known only from a single tooth fragment that may just be a bit of interesting shaped granite. Anyway, thanks to Caitlin from the Infinite Jest podcast, a podcast where they talk about pretty much everything except the novel Infinite Jest, except when they try and guess what it's about, because, like anyone with any sense, they haven't tried to read that nonsense. As ever, if you have any comments, suggestions, constructive criticisms, fan art, hate mail, dinosaur erotica, or really anything, send it through to talkingwithdinosaurs@gmail.com. Tweet it to @TalkingDinoCast, tweet it to @TalkingDinoCast or with the hashtag TalkingWithDinosaurs, or post it to me on the Facebook page. If you want to rate, like, or subscribe to me on iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, Stitcher and such, it would be greatly appreciated. I think they're getting through the door now. I'll wrap up before they drag me back away. I've been Stefan Ado, and we've been talking with dinosaurs. Hey, get your hands off me, Lincoln scum. Ah!